Welcome to Edu TV, the first education channel. We welcome leaders from schools, universities across the world on our panel discussion on GPT and, in fact, GPT and educational institutions. GPT or Generative Pre-training Transformer. We have a fantastic panel of experts here with us today to discuss this revolutionary natural language processing technology. For those who may not be familiar with GPT, it's a deep learning model that has the ability to generate human-like text. It has been used in a variety of applications, including language translation, chat bots, and even generating creative content such as poetry and news articles. As we discussed the capabilities and potential of GPT, we also want to address some of ethical considerations surrounding the use of this technology. How can we ensure that GPT is used ethically and responsibly? And what are the potential risks and challenges that we need to be aware of? I'm excited to hear from our panelists as they share their insights and experiences. Thank you for joining us. Now, I turn it over to our moderator, Aparna Mitra, who studied at Birmingham City College. Am I right, Aparna?
University.
Sorry. She studied at Birmingham City University and is the director of Intra Overseas. She helps students to study abroad. Before Aparna starts, I'm sure all school leaders and vice chancellors, as they know me for years, must be surprised how Pranav Thakurta is giving such a good English speech and must have thought for sure Tanya Sethi must have written. No, speech was generated by ChatGPT. Over to you, Aparna.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and a very happy new year. This is a very cold morning over here. I see Professor Ilyas's fan going slowly, and I'm really jealous at whichever geography you're in, because it's really freezing over here. I was just as a prelude to our discussion, when Pranav asked me to moderate this this discussion, I was a bit inquisitive and I was kind of looking for information in terms of starting over this discussion. And I came across this podcast by Elon Musk. It was a very interesting perspective that he had put forward of us already being cyborgs, already being dependent on technology. And to think of it, we use technology as an extension of our body itself, and it kind of brings all these questions to our mind in terms of how useful technology really is. It is unquestionably. We are definitely smarter once we have that piece of gadget or a software or a service that we can get. But also, to what extent are we going to keep using it, and is it going to really limit us?
All right, thank you. Good afternoon from Singapore. I'm the senior principal at NPS International School. We have about 1,800 kids in the school, and we send kids to all over the world into top universities for their education. So yeah, we always try to find out how technology can be embedded in teaching and learning, and how it can actually help us to efficiently deliver teaching and learning and also assessment. So that's a short brief from me.
Aparna, you are reminding me of Sushmita Sen.
Oh,
yeah.
Please do not edit it. So I'll move on to Kris for initial thoughts on this.
All right, thank you. My first statement is technology is as good as the user. Now, what I would say is there are a lot of opportunities that we can use as an institution, as teachers, or even as students. So it's always good to embrace the change so that we can promote critical thinking, we can promote creativity. If we can save time, that is, if we can make it efficient, we try that so that the time can be used somewhere else. So if the chat GPT, I have gone through chat GPT in the last couple of days and saw a lot of good things that we can use in schools. Mishala said that lesson plan is one. That is one side of it. Secondly, what we can also do is use the chat GPT for the children to, maybe you give them a problem for them to analyze and see why an answer is correct and why some other answer is incorrect. That provision is available in chat GPT. So it will promote the critical thinking side of the chat GPT as well. Of course, everything comes with negative side as well. Children can actually use, or I would say abuse, the facility and try to cut corners, shortcut. When there's an assignment is given, they can simply type in the answer or the question or the problem and get the answer and submit it. That's where we're going to see the downside of it. So how can we overcome? Obviously, we have to have some kind of standard operating procedure, or as institutions,
Okay, thanks, madam.
Thank you.
I think somebody's mic is on. As institutions, we have to set guidelines. Okay, teachers, when they go to classroom, they can use it in making their lessons more effective, more productive. And at the same time, when the children are using it, we can actually help the children to get the best out of it, so that everybody is saving, everybody is thinking critically, and everybody is achieving the best out of this new technology which is available. So I will leave it there.
I think there have been very important points that have been discussed today. This is a subject that we could kind of speak on for hours together. There are of course, technology is one aspect, but there is an emotional quotient to it. There are regulatory, ethical issues that need to be discussed. And of course, making sure that the community as a whole is also accepting of these changes. Many parents are very averse to technology being used instead of books, even modern parents. I have observed, how do we change their mindsets? So the debate is actually quite extensive, and it can go on for days, but I think today could be a great setting stone for this kind of a discussion, where we can have like larger groups come in, more schools kind of involve each other and help and handhold each other. There may be some schools that are really ahead in terms of use of technology, and they may know better tools than GPT as well. God knows, there may be, there may be schools somewhere in Finland who, doing things with robots, answering their questions. We don't know yet. So there is a lot of diversity in terms of how technology is being used in schools. So maybe there could be a system that can be brought together, where at least all students get a level playing field, because someone working off just their imagination and memory to compared to somebody using a fantastic tool, would be always, running a losing race. So how do we kind of, bring those questions about as well is important. So I thank everyone for the discussion and your time today. And Pranav, over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm really impressed with the commendable advocacy of all the school leaders and university leaders. I'd like to thank Mr. Kris Bhatt. He flew from New Zealand to Singapore yesterday only. And when I sent him a message, he was in New Zealand. Thank you so much, Kris.